Oh, do you have any bags left?
No.
Courtney, you forgot already? Whoa.
She wants to forget.
Thank you.
Yesterday, yeah.
Hey, everybody came back, so that's a good sign.
I know, it was crazy.
And then my mom's friend was like, "Oh, are you guys having an open house tomorrow, which is today?" And I was like, "No, it was yesterday."
Don't come in.
Yeah.
Sore spot.
Who else is coming?
This is the option.
That's it.
I'll be out of the line of fire.
Alright, very good. So I guess I'm going to be starting. So thank you everyone for coming in this morning for my huddle. I know it's a bit earlier in the morning, so thank you for coming. And so my huddle today is going to be about IRAs. And this was a topic that I wanted to learn more about and wanted to share with the rest of the team. Because as we're in the end of the calendar year, we're going to be encountering more IRA related transactions if we haven't already encountered them. And so by the end of my research, I'm not yet an IRA expert, but I did want to be able to cover kind of and provide a basic foundational understanding of IRAs so that it can guide our transactions that we'll be facing here on the ops line, okay? And so to start off our conversation, does anyone actually know what an IRA stands for? The term you can take a look at your cheat sheets. Yes.
Individual retirement account.
Yes, very good job. Thank you. And so, as the name implies, IRAs are designed to help people build up a retirement fund by allowing them to save and invest money on a tax-advantaged basis. And so we'll kind of learn more about what that means as we continue with the huddle today, okay? And so to start off our conversation, I did want to review some basic terms and vocabulary that we usually encounter when having these conversations related to IRAs. And so the first word is contribution. And so this is just the money, a term that describes the money that you deposit into an IRA. Second is a distribution. And this is the money that you withdraw from an IRA. And third, a required minimum distribution. So like we have talked about with the last term, a required minimum distribution that applies for individuals who are 72 years and older. So that's the magic number there, 72 years, okay? And so for the rest of this conversation, I'm going to talk about the types of IRAs, and I'm going to talk about what IRA products we have here, and then the types of transactions that we'll be facing here on the ops line, okay? So to start, does anyone kind of know what the two different types of IRAs are?
A Roth IRA and then a traditional.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Tyler. And so I'm going to talk about what a Roth IRA is. So usually Roth IRAs are for younger individuals or individuals with median income. Roth IRAs are pre-taxed, meaning the contributions are taxed and the earnings are tax-free. Okay. And maximum annual contributions for Roth IRAs, the amount is $6,000. Individuals who are 50 years or older may contribute an additional $1,000, and individuals younger than 59 and a half may be subject to penalties for early withdrawals. And so these are numbers that I did include in our information here because they are some magic key numbers here, okay? And the next type of IRA is a traditional IRA. So these are usually for individuals with higher incomes. Traditional IRAs are post-taxed, contributions are not taxed, but the earnings that they take out after are taxed. Maximum annual contribution is also $6,000, with individuals 50 years or older may contribute an additional $1,000. And individuals younger than 59 and a half may be subject to penalties for any early withdrawals as well, okay? And so as a mnemonic that I use is R comes before T, so R gets taxed before T. So like in the alphabet, R comes first in the alphabet, R gets taxed before T. Okay.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a little pop quiz. So if you can put your sheets face down, then we're going to pass this out. I'm going to pass this out to you, and you can go ahead and match to see where it belongs, okay? And, well, if you need some help, I'll let you use the sheets here, okay? And if it doesn't belong in here, you can always just leave it out here, okay? So I'm just going to randomly give these away. Remember, I'm going to give two here. Here. It may be three each person. Alright, have to have you do 4 because I planned this for more people. All right here. So please go ahead and go up and face them to where they.
Courtney, which one do you have? Can you read out loud and tell us where you put it?
So I have post-tax, and that's this one. I have a maximum contribution of 5,000. That doesn't exist. And then individuals 50 years or older can additionally contribute. No, that doesn't exist either. Median income. That's not one. Did I do good?
Okay. So I have earning tax. Earning tax free right here. Tax. Maximum contribution looks like I think that. Oh, okay.
Penalty for withdrawal if less than 50 are younger, higher income. Okay, this one. Not sure about that one.
Okay. All right, thank you everyone for adding it on here. And so, to review, yeah, I can go ahead and take a look at your sheets. I know it was, this is more of a practice quiz, right? So, see here, Roth IRAs are for younger individuals. They are pre-tax. The contributions are taxed. Which means the earnings are tax-free. It is for median income. So penalties for early withdrawals are for both Roth and traditionals. So this is going to be unique for members who need to kind of catch up on their retirement. And for mid-tax, that doesn't exist. So I'm going to put that here, okay? And then, oh sorry, that's for both penalties. And this is for individuals to catch up the additional 1,000 here, okay? It should be here. Earnings are tax-free, earnings are taxed. Pre-tax, post-tax, okay? All right, nice work everyone. Thank you very much. All right, so now moving on. So I'm going to talk about the types of products that we have here at Schools First. What we offer are accumulation IRAs, which is a form of savings account, and an IRA certificate. And so an IRA certificate shares the same qualities as our other share certificates here. The only difference is that they're available as both a traditional or Roth IRA certificate, okay? And here, for our responsibilities here on the Ops team is to refer our members to services or to our financial advisor, Christian, in the case that they had any questions of opening any of these forms or certificates, okay? All right, and then so, next thing I'm going to talk about is the types of transactions that we'll be facing here on the Ops line. And take a look here. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to review the forms of transactions we'll see, which are contributions and distributions. And there are a lot of screens that we'll be seeing when doing these transactions, so I'm going to refer you to here and kind of expose you with some of the types of screens that you'll be seeing for those transactions, okay? Let's start. I'm going to be talking about IRA forms. So IRA forms are something that we complete as a form of paperwork for any IRA-related transactions as a reference for our members to have in their files in the case that they need to reference it to bring to their tax advisor when they're doing their taxes, okay? And so the script for this is RG IRA forms with an S, as you can see on our sheet here. And this is what's going to populate when you do input that, okay? So here you just kind of select the options. In here I did highlight the 2 types of transactions we would be doing on IRA forms, okay? Either a contribution or a distribution, okay? So this is what the forms look like. And so it is a best practice to complete IRA forms when either doing contributions or distribution, okay? So just remember we do that just in combination with our transactions, okay? So next we're going to talk about, or first I'm going to talk about IRA contributions, okay? And so if you can take a look on our sheet here, IRA contributions, when we do complete it, there is a contribution limit per calendar year. And so in order for us to take a look at what that limit is, we do use the script SD, share deposit, and we select that share so that we can populate on Scimitar what is remaining for that they can contribute for the calendar year. So you would select either 2021 or 2022, depending on the year that they wish to contribute, to see the amount that they can contribute. Then you would escape out of that and then complete the IRA form. Okay, so when we went to IRA forms, we would use this form. We would select contribution, and then it would show us this one. Okay, and then so you just go ahead and fill this out with the contribution amount, the date, and the year, and then just go ahead and select how they're completing the transaction and submit. Okay, so this will be saved to our members' files whenever the case that they need to reference it. And then when you complete the form, you go back and finish up the transaction. Does that sound okay? Alright, now let's talk about distributions. So these are the types of forms that will be appearing when you pull up IRA distribution from the IRA forms, okay? And so for distributions, we do want to take a look. This is going to be the script when we do the script SW from that certificate, okay? And the information will be here on here as well. Just wanted to kind of give some exposure of what the form looks like and kind of where you're looking at, because I know it is overwhelming when we pull up the form. So I just kind of wanted to expose you of what the form looks like for now, okay? So if you can just focus here, this is what the form looks like for a distribution. This is going to be the first part on the column here that I blew up to for you to take a look at. Here you just go ahead and input the amount here, okay? So that's going to be the amount that they are looking to distribute or withdraw from their certificate. Next is the taxes here, okay? So here is an important part here. So if you can take a look on this slide here for IRA certificate distributions. So Roth IRAs do not have tax withholdings, remember. It's only traditional IRAs that are taxed when we withdraw. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. All right. So when it comes to advising on how to calculate the taxes here, it is important that we explain to our members that we are not tax advisors. We cannot advise the member regarding the specific tax withholdings, and we do ask our members to please refer back to their tax advisor. Okay, so this is going to be an important part for when we complete this section here on the IRA forms. Okay. All right. And so when we finish this form, this last part is just how you're going to complete that distribution. Did they want it in the form of cash, a check, or just to do deposit to a different account of theirs? Okay. All right. And so that'll be it for my presentation huddle here. And so just by the end of this, just hoping that it serves as a foundational understanding for us when completing IRA transactions. And for any additional questions, we do want to refer to the experts. And so please go ahead and contact IRA Services at the extension 4300 for any additional questions, okay? All right, and that concludes our presentation.